Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Pathfinder Kingmaker Enhanced Edition with me, BringItDon. And we need to talk to the storyteller. Alright, do you wish to learn the story of the Cypress Queen? Oh, sorry. Alright, let me just read this. Such clear air. I feel like I am back home in my home woods. Back in my home woods. I'm already butchering the story. And feel the wind tousling my hair. The storyteller takes a deep breath and laughs joyfully. Yes, now I recognize to whom this once belonged. I hear laughter and the singing of the forest folk. Do you wish to learn the story of the Cypress Queen, Don Victus? Okay. Alright, tell me the story of the Cypress Queen. Hear the noise of the capital. Merchants shouting, horses neighing, soldiers' armor clanking. But this is all from far away, from beyond the tall walls of the palace garden. The noise is barely audible through the lush vegetation. But here, in the cool stillness, I can hear two lovers whisper beneath the shadow of an ancient cypress tree. I'm not one of them. No, I'm just a frail cypress twig. These two cannot be together. She is a queen, and he is her loyal knight. Perhaps too loyal. But their love could not be kept secret for long. The king ordered the knight executed, but the knight managed to slip away into the wilderness of the Gnarl Marches in the Stolen Lands. He hid there, away from civilization, with only animals and birds to keep him company. To remember his lost home, he brought a cypress twig with him and planted it in front of his hut. The tree took root, and the knight spent long hours talking to the cypress, imagining it was his queen. And one day I answered. Since ancient times, these lands had been home to the Fae, so it's little surprise that a dryad would be born within the tree. We became friends. He told me of his homeland and his beloved queen, and the merry life at court. The celebrations, the parades, the tournaments. I wanted so badly to see it all with my own eyes. Why couldn't you go see the city for yourself? You know not? Dryads are bonded to their trees. We cannot stray far from them. And even if we could, our kind tends not to get favorable reactions from humans. They find us too strange, too alien. I doubt I would have been warmly received in the city. Did you fall in love? Of course not. The very thought is shameful. The knight remained faithful to his true love till the end of his days. As for me, well, I was born from a twig of the cypress under which the knight and the queen's love story began. I like to think I was a child of their love in a way. I never told him directly, but I always considered the knight to be like a father to me. And what happened next? So I decided I wanted to be a queen myself. And why not? After all, the Green Mother gave me my fair share of beauty and magic, and the knight taught me all about how to rule a country. I organized a celebration. All the local fae were invited. I had no idea there were so many of my kin in the neighborhood. Everyone came. Shy nymphs, merry satyrs with their reed pipes, tender nixies, leprechauns with their fancy buckled hats and shiny boots. The celebration lasted 3 days, and my guests enjoyed it so much that every one of them proclaimed me their queen at the end. I wasn't establishing prisons or taxes or other nasty things common in human courts, but the social life of my court was vibrant enough to make any human monarch jealous. And what kind of functions did your Fae court conduct? We did all kinds of amazing things. Sometimes I hosted dances that went on all night, or held tournaments in which satyrs would entertain the audience, kicking each other for the right to kiss me. There were even parades organized for the local animals. Just imagine, deer, boars, and bears all marching in lines. Even those Fae who initially didn't like the idea of a kingdom were happy with things. I think we may have been the only kingdom in the world built without a single drop of blood spilled, built on a foundation of joy and happiness. So your kingdom wasn't real. It was basically just a game. What an odd suggestion. How about your country? Is it real? Or could it just be a game with complicated rules and high stakes? Our kingdom was as real as we were. And then what? Life in the woods changed a lot over time, and the knight changed too. After spending so much time around Fae and meditating alone in nature, he became more religious and built a shrine to Arista with his own hands. Rumors spread around the area of some hermit or saint living in the swamps, though to be frank, there wasn't anything saintly about him as far as I could tell. But people started coming to meet him, and over time, a small village grew around the shrine, built by people in search of a new life. As word spread of our kingdom in the woods, some people were surprised, while some just smiled knowingly. After all, the idea of a kingdom was familiar to humans, so Fae living in a kingdom made them seem less alien, less strange and scary. So we began living side by side in peace. Sometimes Fae would visit humans just to share a cup of tea, and sometimes there were even unions that resulted in children. Human children, some of the magic of the Fae. Some of those children deserve their own legends, but those are other stories for another time. Human monarchs are quite different from their subjects. They have eyes everywhere. Their arms are long, and their memories longer. As the village grew, news of the location of a disgraced knight made its way to the king. Eventually, a small but heavily armed group of the king's men arrived in the village, demanding the hermit knight leave with them immediately. The villagers, both human and Fae, were ready to fight to defend him, but the knight followed his unwelcome guests voluntarily. He said he wanted to avoid bloodshed, and he was old and longed to see his homeland and his beloved queen once again, even if it ended with his execution. So the knight was taken away. Everyone grieved for him, myself especially. But as time passed, the pain subsided, as it tends to. Both the village and the Fae Kingdom happily lived in peace for many years after. What happened to the knight? I know not. This story was not about him. The Dryad never saw him again. Perhaps he slipped away from his guards and accomplished a slew of heroic deeds afterward. Or perhaps his captors executed him on the first day, simply taking the king his head. Or maybe he died on the executioner's block, but in the city of his youth, gazing once more upon his queen, older now, but as beautiful as ever. Or maybe the city had changed beyond recognition, and his queen had died years ago, and he realized too late that his true home was a village built in the swamps. Or maybe the king saw that the pious old man standing before him shared nothing in common with the bold young upstart that had impinged his honor so long before, and thus pardoned him. Alas, alas, we have no way of knowing what really happened. Time spared not even the kingdom where this story started, so your guess here is as good as mine. What happened to the village and the kingdom after that? If your wonder is strong enough, you could visit the Gnarl Marches yourself and ask the locals. I suspect someone there would know what happened next. But the story was about the Fae Kingdom, how the Fae Kingdom was established, and that story is over. Well, thank you for the story, storyteller. So we know a little bit about that kingdom because we went to the Swamp Witch's hut. And that story is referencing the story around the Swamp Witch's hut. Obviously, how it started, that village and the human-Fae relations there, and we know how that ended as well. Anything to sell? I have stuff to sell. I'm also going to stop by and talk to the, I was actually in his stand. Interesting.
I'm there.
Okay.
I do what I must.
Yeah, I want to see if the Sweet Teeth have anything else I could do for them. Any other tasks? I don't have any errands for him to do. Alright, let's go to the tavern and talk with Octavia and Reg about this Technic League spy. Let's see if we can continue Honorio 8-Eye's story. Parting your story. How'd you escape Vermelt's trap? Okay, so in the next chapter I should be able to talk to her about that.
I'm off.
Alright guys. Alright, An inconspicuous dwarf wearing a grey coat sits at the table sipping beer. As you, Octavia, and Reg appear at his table, he topples the mug, startled. Boo. You're asking about us, right? Well, here we are. So what is it you want from us? You've made a mistake. I have no idea who you are. Yeah, who are you, and why are you looking for Octavia and Reg? No, you're wrong. I'm just a simple cobbler. Reg slams his fist on the table almost hard enough to break the table legs. Cut the crap, deadbeat. Talk, or I start cutting off fingers. Don't. Please not my fingers. I'll tell you everything. My name's Carrig, just a humble servant of Maestro Janush. The looks on Octavia's and Reg's face after hearing that name make the dwarf go pale and shrink into his chair. You know him, don't you? You could say that. And why did he send you here? I was his slave. I served the Maestro, loyally for a long time, and he finally granted me my freedom. He promised me a lot of money, enough to get me to the Five Kings Mountains and then some, if I just do a simple task for him. Find out if a half-elf named Octavia and a half-orc named Reg were living in the capital, and if so, where they could be found. I don't know why he sent me. I'm no spy, just a simple cobbler. Octavia, do you believe him? Strange as it may seem, yes. He seems more like one who's been deceived than one who's deceiving. Using people in the dark without telling them the true purpose of their mission is very much like Janush. I don't think he's a spy. I think he's bait. Reg, do you believe him? I think this slimeball's lying. A cobbler, sure. Everyone knows the Technic League's short on spies. Of course they have to send cobblers, cooks, and water carriers instead. So here's what I think. Let's drag him by the beard from the city gates to the palace and back. Maybe then he'll come up with something more clever along the way. Well, tell me, Carrig, do you know where we can find Janush? Yes I do. Oh, the Maestro will kill me. Abadar, what did I do to deserve this? Give me a map, I'll show you where he's holed up. Octavia and Reg exchange looks. Looks like a trap. Of course it's a trap. It's the Maestro. Remind me, who's this Maestro Janush? Reg spits on the floor. A wizard from the Technic League. Taught Octavia and me... we owe half our scars to him. I have to admit, he did teach us magic well enough. I can't wait to see him again so we can thank him for it. Carrig, you can't go back. Let's see. I already know how this ends. Yeah, thanks for the information. Now get out of my city. Of course, at once. You'll never see me here again. Not even a hair. The dwarf rushes out of the tavern. Well, now we know where Janush is waiting for us. He knows we're coming, of course. But we know that he knows, so that gives us the advantage. But does he know that we know that he knows? Reg frowns with exaggerated seriousness. Laughing, Octavia lightly flicks Reg's nose. Unable to maintain his serious expression, he breaks down and laughs with her. Alright, so we have that to take care of. What else do I have to do? Oh yeah, we need to go talk to Lika. We also need to go talk to Sherelle. Alright, let's exit. Shoot. Alright, she's gonna sit back. Reg will take her spot for now. And as for Octavia, I guess Kaisi can sit back for now. I want to bring Jaethal because of her perception. So that'll do for now. I do want to stop by Lake Silverstep again because of the it isn't technically hideout. I'm gonna go talk to Lika real quick, or Lika. Peaceful travelers. Okay, cool. It's upgraded. Whenever the wearer casts a spell with acid descriptor, that spell deals +1 point of damage per die rolled. Quenchless Life. This +2 full plate grants swear +2 bonus when saving throws against all spells of Necromancy School. That's okay. It'd be pretty good against a couple of the future. I can get that for Jubilost. There's a dungeon later on that has a lot of Necromancy, so. Against the attacks of vermin. +4 morale bonus armor class against the attacks of vermin. Very specific. Alright, I think I'm gonna buy this, because that's better than what Jubilost currently has. So when we get back, we can give that to him. Oh yeah, I need to memorize some spells with Octavia before we continue. So when it's time to rest, she'll have a... Okay. Sure. All of these are good spells, so it's hard to actually pick. Extend. That works. All right. So I haven't claimed the Silver Step region yet.
It's time to act!
Together we are unstoppable.
How did I... What did I do? Yeah, I don't think I gave him the right level last time. Oh well. That's fine. I like how my cape keeps getting stuck inside of me. You're back. Did you take care of that box? The problem's solved. There was a monster in the box. A Cyclops. But he's dead now. Nixie throws her hands up in joy. You did it. I have to tell my family as soon as possible. Once I tell them what you did, they'll understand that not all strangers are bad. A Cyclops, huh? I doubt any of us could have dealt with that. I'd say you earned yourself a reward. Gold rings, some gems, and money. 300 XP. Still a while before we get to level up, but we will get there eventually. Alright, and then to the Technic League hideout.
I need to catch my breath.
I'll go and rest here. Sure.
You keep babbling on and on about forgiveness, but I've seen you in battle. Standing there, covered in blood from head to toe, the look of doom on your face. Is that what forgiveness looks like?
Sarenrae grants healing to those who can be healed, and interrupts the life journey of those who are too late repenting their sins. I am just her humble instrument.
Is it really time for the ball hilltop already? I thought you had... It wasn't until like the last week. Alright, we should still have time to get there before it starts affecting our kingdom. At least I hope so. Alright, regardless, we have two.
Where to now?
Let's get a quick save and then we just go ahead and head in. Who's carrying the cobbler, by the way?
You have my attention.
Right here, my friend. How may I help?
I yearn for
State your
entertainment.
They're coming, guards. Everyone here. Do you really cancel all my spells? That's
Stand
annoying.
against me.
Whatever. We'll have him summon his skeletons. Should probably go ahead and get fire resist going.
This body holds no more.
Time for fun.
Oh, we're slowed. I was wondering why we're moving so slow. We're slowed. Okay, what else does she have? We can use that, I guess.
What your entrails look like.
Alright, we did it, everybody.
Request. Tashani Savitor. Tashani Savitor. Tashani Savitor.
I'm not afraid.
Alright, Maestro Janush claps as he greets you with a contented smile. So, you managed to track down my messenger, locate this place, and make your way here. Impressive. Very impressive. I see all that training was not in vain. You old scumbag, playing your games. You think we don't know it's a trap? Ha, we're ready for anything. Of course it's a trap. Not for you though, my darling. Octavia, Reg, you surpassed all my expectations. I can't help but feel pride in such students. I speak to you now not as slaves. No, you're deserving of your freedom. You've proven I can speak to you as equals. I invite you to become proper members of the Technic League. You'll become my left and right hands. You could have all the things this shabby baron could never offer you. Money, slaves, power, access to secret knowledge and powerful artifacts. We require just one small entry fee. The wizard points at you. His head. Whoa, that's one thing. So right here, if you had Ekendiah in your party, he would eye Reg and, you know, get his bow ready. Because he's always got your back. He's a bro. Whoa, that's one thing I wasn't ready for. But listen up, you old piece of crap. Do you take us for brainless idiots here? You think we got through all your training and didn't learn the most important lessons? He looks at Octavia. Lesson 1. Never trust Maestro Janush in anything. Lesson 2. Hate Maestro Janush with all your heart. Enough talk, old teacher. We're here to pass our final exam. Alright, and she can cast Constricting Coils. We need to actually get the rest of this is a cakewalk. This should hold you. What are you waiting for? He's getting away. We'll catch him. We just need to set these poor people free first. No, we don't. Forget them. Can't you see the scums getting away? Reg, we can't leave them. We used to be slaves too. And we freed ourselves. Octavia, we owe nothing to these people. Wake up. Living people are burning right in front of you. How can we just let them die? Yeah, Octavia's right, Reg. You didn't free yourselves on your own, remember? These people need our help. But Janush... Ah, darn it. Fine. Let him roll himself back to Numeria. Calistria is not blind. He'll get his someday. Enough chatting then. Let's pull these idiots out of the fire. I love you. After giving Reg a quick hug, Octavia rushes to help the chained slaves.
Ready and willing.
Is it just the two? Oh, no, there's that one there. Hey, stop! Darn that scum. He's gone. Reg kicks the door frame, frustrated, and spits on the floor. It's alright. We'll settle the score later. No, we won't. It's over. We'll never see him again. He knows we're stronger now. He won't risk crossing us again. But Reg, that's wonderful. Do you realize what you just said? He is afraid of us now. The great Maestro Janush just ran away from us with his tail between his legs. He's running back to the farthest corner of Numeria to sit and hide for the rest of his life, afraid we'll come after him. The annoyance on Reg's face slowly fades into a contented grin. Haha, you're right. That piece of crap's going to see us in his nightmares for the rest of his life.
Adventures call to them. Anything else?
Gears rule. Maestro Janush, the problem is finally solved, and we have an incident report on all damages sustained by our organization. The company of technomancers and the robotic escort deployed at your command have finally eliminated this nuisance. I regret to inform you that very few of our men have survived the assault. The Myrmidon and lower class robots have been reduced to parts, and only one of our two precious annihilators is still in service, although heavily damaged and beyond our capabilities to repair. At least, the case of this disaster in Numeria is finally closed for good, and the complete reports will be sent to you as soon as possible. In the meantime, I can shed some light on the main lines of inquiry at play here. For the moment, this seems to have been the work of a small group of powerful and well-organized individuals, referred to as the Five Disasters, until further information is recovered. One android, unregistered, with 4 arms and heavily customized cyberware, which is what allowed it to cause such heavy damage with crippling and often fatal explosives. We have not been able to repair it and put it to use. All that we have been able to extract is a chunk of strange nanite cloud that settles into a tangible form, and some largely corrupted data. For now, our restoration efforts have only succeeded in extracting a self-identification of gears and several recurring names. Eloniel, Seiya, Shindra, Alfrieda, Max, Billy, and Sandali. We're hoping that the names of the disasters are among them, as this is the only promising starting point for our investigation. What seemed to be a female angel, possessing wings and the powerful holy aura, who greatly delayed the execution of the disasters through her sustained curative powers. With her support, the disasters seemed to heal faster than they could be. Damaged, and with each heal, one of our men seemed to suffer a backlash and spontaneously combust. A female devil, or similar beast, horns, tail, small pointed fangs, extremely nimble. She was the last to fall, even though her damage output did not seem to match that of her peers. She seemed untouchable, until the Annihilator obliterated the general region that she was last seen in. A human female, with very strange powers, attacking our troops with a combination of a bow and mysterious singing. She seems to have caused sporadic mutations and a burst of aggression in her allies during battle. No traces of her or mutations remained afterwards, though we are still investigating. The last case is quite unusual and resists easy classification. An elven male, or possibly half-elf in appearance, he threw himself into the fray drooling with rage and unleashed a storm of steel and lead with a blade and a handgun. Between 2 assaults, the android scratched him and he changed into a massive 6-armed creature made of water, wreaking havoc among our ranks with claws, fangs, and weapons. There is clearly still much to investigate. The aforementioned disasters seem to be behind the deaths of our agents that led to the end of our activity at the Scar of the Spider, on the Feldale side, forcing us to return to our headquarters at Starfall. Their true intentions and the motivation behind their hostilities are still unknown. Our teams have always been assaulted without a word. Despite this hard blow, you'll be happy to know that our activity in Numeria should have been resumed by the time this message will have reached you. Kalana. P.S. I attached to this letter a box containing the remains of the android. The nanites take form and fuse, but seem practically inert and unresponsive to our experts and analysis machines. Maybe you can find some use for them. So Gear's rule. Holding the form of a mechanical scorpion, this object is really a cluster of autonomous nanites, extracts of the soul and abilities of the android Gears, combined with portions of his familiar. When placed on a character's wrist, this item merges with the character's flesh, appearing as a faintly glowing tattoo and granting several abilities to its owner. The nanites inside the item provide the wearer with multiple abilities. So your owner gets +1 bonus to all attack rolls with bombs. This bonus increases to +2 at level 12. Owner gains a +2 bonus to saving throws against mind-affecting, death, paralysis, disease, stun, and poison effects, and resists fatigue for 8 hours past the usual limit. At level 20, the owner becomes immune to fatigue and exhaustion. Owner's bombs deal additional dice of damage as if they were an alchemist 2 levels higher. The owner's save difficulty checks are increased by 1. Then once per day as a free action, the owner can activate the nanites inside the item for 5 rounds, gaining fast healing 5, as well as immunity to poison, death effects, paralysis, stun, disease, and the effects of targeted bomb admixture extract. At level 16, the duration of focusing surge increases to 10 rounds. So it's pretty good. Maestro Janush's diary. Sorry, I'm struggling to read, but let's get it done. Well, 15 slaves have just been delivered from Ustalav. I made an order for 40. More than a half died on the way, and the rest came with some sort of disease. I've sent them to the lab. They weren't good for anything else anyway. We had to change the barracks to get rid of the disease. Burned the old ones to the ground, along with the slaves that remained there. I doubled my order for new ones. Delivery is expected to arrive by spring. Worthless, stupid dreams. Again, the same wench as before. All night long promising me a crown and throne in exchange for some piece of garbage from the stolen lands. The throne's location and the kind of crown she never mentioned. I need to prepare some magical protections. The agents have dragged back the slaves who fled 2 days ago. I've made an example of them, with them to death in front of the others. Now to change the locks and shackles. That Fae keeps bargaining. Now she's offering me all the secrets of the First World in exchange for some artifact. So she wants me to go all the way to the middle of nowhere to search for no one knows what. Just who does she think I am? I'm tired. Not a single night passes without her coming, but I'm intrigued. Maybe I'll have a use for this wench after all. Now Nerissa comes even during my midday naps. She's so impatient. Reg and Octavia have found themselves a new owner. I should have guessed it would end like that. So many years and so much effort. Wasted. I have to do everything myself. I'm going crazy. Nerissa keeps hiding her face from me, for the third night in a row. I'm trying to sleep both at night and during the day. I need some sign to know what I'm doing, that I'm doing what I'm supposed to. It's dusty here, hard to breathe, but that doesn't matter. There's been no Technic League hideout in history as useful as this one. I was lucky that some of our people had previously arranged for a safe spot within the Stolen Lands. There could be no better place for us to set an ambush. It should be easy to lure this Baron out. My dream was short, but I got what I'd been craving. A light touch from Mistress Nerissa was all I needed. She gave me a chance. My head won't touch pillow again until I kill the Baron. That filth will pay for all he's done, or my life is over. I will not disappoint my mistress. So he was being coerced by... Nerissa. Just as we were in the beginning, and the Stag Lord, and everybody else. Well, well, what have we here? Octavia flips through the pages of one of the books. Reg, take a look at this. Well, well. Oh, sorry. What is it? Whoa, by Clistria's tits. This is... Haha. Found something interesting here. The Maestro was in such a hurry to leave that he left something pretty interesting behind. What did you find? Octavia triumphantly points at a page of a thick volume. These are the Maestro's ledgers. All his accounting for the last, let's see, 10, 20... Yes, the last 30 years. Do you know what this means? Somewhere in these pages is me and Octavia. When we were bought, for how much, from where, maybe even from who. I'm not all that interested in my tribe, really. I already know who they are. Piles of crap who sell their children into slavery. But it might be interesting to pay them a visit, maybe spit into their faces personally. It'll take some time to make sense of the ledger. We may not find anything, or may find something and regret ever looking. But I still want to know the truth. I want to understand who I am and where I come from.
I'm there.
And that'll lead into the next quest once they're done, Son of a gun. There we go.
You forced
Serves
my
you
hand.
right. Can you make an epic pose? I need inspiration.
This wound, my gift to you. In due time.
This is for you. Our leader charged forwards. Hey, wait for me.
I'll cut you.
Again, a lot of decent loot in this area.
How curious.
Chocolate ice cream, there it is, my favorite recipe in the game. Finally. I couldn't for the life of me remember where it was, where you find it at. Turns out it's in the Technic League hideout. Did I miss loot back here? Oh, I must not have taken the diary out. Alright, so this episode's a little longer than usual, but that's fine, because we finished up the area and the quests. So let's dip out. Okay, and I'm going to call the episode here, and the next one I'm going to go ahead and head back towards the Bald Hilltop off camera, and that's where we'll start the next episode, unless of course you run across an important random encounter. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.